Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I've done a digital draw with me. I think the last one I did was in October, which is almost it's more than half a year ago. So I thought I would do a little bit of an updated one with my new June digital goodie for my Patreon. So this month I am focusing on a New York theme for all of my art. I'm pretty excited about it. Last month I did an Asia theme, or kind of more of a China theme, in celebration of API Heritage Month. But I thought that I would do New York this month because it seemed like fitting to follow up my month of Asia with a month of the place where I actually live now, New York, and also because I really need to practice more cityscapes, I feel like. So I thought New York would be a good subject choice for that, because it is the concrete jungle here. And because we just moved, I thought that it would be really good for me to try doing some more plein air stuff. I haven't done any plein air in over a year and a half, since before the pandemic, but now that I am fully vaccinated, I feel much better about going outside and just kind of loitering around drawing places. So I think I'm going to challenge myself to do that a little bit more this month, as opposed to sitting on my butt at home all day, every day, So yeah, I polled my Instagram. Well, I didn't poll. I used one of those question stickers. I don't know what the proper name for it is, but I used one of the question stickers on Instagram to ask everyone, or my followers on Instagram, what they thought of when they thought of New York, in order for me to come up with ideas for things to draw for this digital goodie. I've been doing this quite a bit this year, and that's been really fun for me because it takes a little bit of pressure out of coming up with like all the ideas on my end, and it also is a really fun way for me to interact with all of you guys. So yeah, I got a lot of responses, people saying things like pizza and bagels and cheesecake and the Statue of Liberty and the Brooklyn Bridge and things like that. So yeah, I took some of the suggestions and I turned them all into sketches, and then I started recording the painting process. So you've already seen me work on the taxi, the classic New York yellow taxi cab, and a slice of folded New York style pizza. As y'all know, the only correct way to eat a New York slice is folded. I like it with hot chili flakes, which is why I have the little pepper shaker, which is a staple at basically all New York pizza joints. They also have like a Parmesan one and like maybe a basil one, but I always use, I'm simple. I like my chili flakes. Yeah, and the taxi was a little hard to draw. I don't draw cars like ever. I honestly cannot remember the last time I drew a car. Maybe when I was traveling. Probably when we went to France, because there was a very cute little car when we went to France that I probably drew. But yeah, so my point is, it's been a long time since I've drawn a car, and I don't know how cars work. I don't drive, so yeah. But I think overall it turned out pretty cute. It doesn't look exactly like how a New York taxi cab looks, but I tried my best, And now I'm working on a drawing of a New York style cheesecake. This particular one is the one from Junior's, which is I think probably the most famous New York cheesecake place. They do a strawberry cheesecake that is my absolute favorite. It is just their regular cheesecake slice with like a mound of strawberries in like gelatin something on top of it, and it is so incredibly good. Like, you do not understand how good it is. I cannot describe to you how good it is. But yeah, so I decided to draw a picture of my favorite cheesecake slice. Fun fact, our old apartment was like just a couple blocks away from the very famous Junior's Brooklyn location. And it was not healthy for us. We had so much cheesecake while we lived there for 3 years. It was so good. We now live very far away from Junior's, and that is sad, so that's okay. But yeah, as for the drawing process, I should probably tell you a little bit about that too. For all of these, I am basically only using the dry ink brush. With a few exceptions. For the 2 washi tapes, I also use a little bit of the Max Pack watercolor brushes. For the pigeon, I use a little bit of a pencil sketching brush, one of the original Procreate ones, and I also used the soft airbrush, I'm pretty sure. So I'll have all of those linked. Well, the Max Pack I'll have linked down below, and then I'll have the names of the brushes written in the description box as well, just in case you're wondering. I kind of keep these digital goodies really simple when it comes to the coloring process. I don't really play with a bunch of brushes. These are mostly just for kind of more doodly sketches. So yeah, I don't really go too fancy. I also the drying brush is just my favorite. It's so good. It's just such a good brush. I don't know. But yeah. So now I've moved on to drawing an everything bagel. New York bagels are known for being very large and very fluffy and incredibly tasty, but they also tend to have way too much cream cheese on them for my taste, which is why I have given this bagel a very naughty little face, because it knows that it will wreck my tummy because I am lactose intolerant. So yeah. And then this is not one of the Instagram suggestions actually, but I thought I would draw a bag of mango slices. In New York, it's pretty common to see women, mostly, standing on street corners with mangoes that they cut up for you, and they serve it to you in little Ziploc bags, and they douse it with lime juice and chili powder, I'm pretty sure. So I thought that would be a cute nod to them. There is one lady who sells these that is on the street corner of my old office where I used to work, and it was so dangerous because it was so tempting every morning. Every morning on my walk to work, I would walk and think, should I get mangoes today? Should I? And then have to make a split-second decision. So, yeah. Alright, now we are working on a hot dog stand. This was my first time trying to draw a hot dog stand. It was very difficult. Hot dog stands are usually crammed full of drinks and hot dogs, and often also pretzels and things like that. So I decided not to draw all of the little drinks and stuff because that was kind of overwhelming. I just drew a very basic little hot dog stand with nothing on top, just a little hot dog sign, and of course the very iconic little red and yellow umbrellas that they always have. But yeah, anyway, as I color in this umbrella, I thought I would talk a little bit about, just life in New York. I've really missed the city. After a year and a half of quarantining at home and basically being scared to go out, partially because of the pandemic and also partially because of the anti-Asian hate crimes that have been happening, I'm really excited this month to at least start working towards falling back in love with the city. There's so much to love here, and we haven't really had access to any of it for a really long time. So yeah, I'm excited to explore again. Our new place is right next to a park that is basically a freaking forest. We went and walked around for like 2 hours over the weekend, and it was incredible. It was like going hiking, but it was in the middle of the city. What even is that? So, yeah. But yeah, and also nearby we have a lot of like really large houses that I really want to draw. They're not brownstones because we're not in Brooklyn anymore, but they are these beautiful, like very cottagecore just homes, and I'm so in love with all of them. I'm never gonna be able to afford them because it is New York City still, but you know, a girl can dream. I'm probably gonna go and try drawing some of them. Hopefully none of their owners yell at me for like standing outside their house for too long. Yeah, wish me luck. And finally, I'm working on some washi tape here, or not washi tape, but washi stickers. I decided to do one of Brooklyn Bridge and one of the Freedom Tower. And yeah, I'm working with for these two, I worked with the Max Pack watercolor brushes to create those really pretty cloud gradients. It's my favorite way to create gradients. So yeah. Anyway, now that I've rambled on about random things in New York, I think that's probably it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry if the lighting gets a little funky near the end. I was drawing this digital goodie until about 7:30 p.m. and the sun had set. Brush information will be linked down below as always. You can get access to this digital goodie on Sunday on my Patreon. It's for all tiers, $3 and up. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of my cozy little space on the internet. I love you all so much, and I will see you next week. Bye, friends.